What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another deck profile, and today I've got a Blue Eyes deck profile yet again. It's Lair of Darkness Blue Eyes, so keep an open mind. Also, I have some announcements at the end of the video, so if you stick through, yay, thank you. Let's get right into this. Starting the deck profile off, we have 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Everybody knows you need your Blue Eyes White Dragon in order... okay, fuck. Okay. So, everybody knows you need your 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon in order to basically have a Blue Eyes deck. Well, you don't need 3 copies. You can probably get away with running 2, but I'm running 3 because I'm not running, like, any engine cards. So, yes, 3 cards. Or 3 copies of that. Next up, we have 3 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. If you don't know what this card does, once per turn, you can reveal a Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand to special summon it. You can only special summon Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon once per turn this way. I know it sounds like I'm firing through this, but I know if I don't fire through it, I'm not going to be able to get this done, so I need to fire through it. If you can't keep up, pause the video, or if you're making this online, I really highly suggest making this online. Read the card text through there. But anyways, you can reveal him, or you can reveal Blue Eyes in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use that effect once per turn. And then he has another soft once per turn effect where you can target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Next up, we have 2 copies of Sage with the Eyes of Blue. Sage with Eyes of Blue. He has the effect where you can... or when he's normal summoned, you can add a level 1 light tuner monster from your deck to your hand. And he also has another effect where you can discard him, or target an effect monster you control, discard him, and send that monster to the graveyard to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. Next up, in the 1-ofs, we have 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, or Red MD, 1 White Stone of Legend, and 1 Dragon Spirit of White, Red MD. He's getting an errata soon, but I'm going to go over his effect right now. His current effect is you can banish a dragon monster you control to special summon him from your hand. And then he has another effect where you can once per turn special summon a dragon from your hand or graveyard. The White Stone of Legend has an effect that when it's sent to the graveyard, mandatory effect, you add a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, and then the Dragon Spirit of White has an effect that whenever it's normal or special summoned, you can target a spell or trap card your opponent controls and banish it. Then it has a quick effect that if your opponent controls more monsters, or controls a monster, you contribute it to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. And that's it for the monsters on that end. Next up, for the spells, we have 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. By the way, I'm separating this by Blue Eyes and Lair of Darkness. I'll go over that reason later. So, 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. It is not once per turn, so you can use multiple copies of it in the same turn. Target a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Monster reborn for level 7 and 8 dragon monsters. Really good. And then it has another effect that is widely known across the land of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if any of your dragon monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to prevent their destruction. Next up, we have 3 copies of Melody of Awakening Dragon. Melody has the effect that you can discard a card to add up to 2 dragon monsters with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. So Blue Eye stats, but you can vary in attack, or you can search something with higher attack and lower defense. Next up, we have 3 copies of Trade-In. Everybody knows what Trade-In does, but if you don't know what Trade-In does, stop living under a rock. Just kidding, though. I love you guys very much. The support on the channel has been amazing. But yeah. Trade-In has the effect that you can discard a level 8 monster to draw 2 cards, which is good. So, and then next up, we have 2 copies of Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine, everybody should know what this does, but if you don't, it has 2 effects, but its main thing is once per turn, discard a card, choose one of the 2 following effects. One of the effects is to add a Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand. Its other effect is you can discard, or not, you can send a level 7 or 8 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is really good. Next up, we have 2 copies of Dragon Shrine. Everybody knows what Dragon Shrine does. Dragon Shrine says you can send a dragon-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if it was a normal monster, or a dragon-type normal monster, you can send an additional dragon from your deck to the graveyard. So basically what you want to do is you want to send regular Blue Eyes, then send something else to get the value out of it. And then last up, we have 1 Monster Reborn, and that wraps up the spells on the Blue Eyes side. But Monster Reborn, if you don't know, target a monster in either player's graveyard, special summon it to your side of the field. Next up, we have, for our Lair of Darkness, I want you guys to count the number of cards that this will take up. We have 3 copies of Darkest Diabolus, Lord of the Lair. He cannot be tributed or targeted by card effects your opponent controls. So he cannot be kaiju'd. I put him in the wrong spot. I am not smart. This is a different setup. If you haven't noticed, I actually have both my hands available to me. So, yes. But Darkest Diabolus has another effect that, or has 2 other effects that are both hard ones per turn. When a dark monster you control is tributed, you can special summon him from your hand or graveyard, which is really good. And then he also has another effect where you can tribute another monster you control, or a dark monster you control, or not you control. You can tribute another dark monster to have your opponent put 1 card from their hand on the top or bottom of the deck. Next up, we have 3 copies of Lilith, Lady of Lament. Everybody knows what she does, but if you don't, her effect is when she's normal summon, have her attack. And then she has a quick effect to tribute a dark monster to reveal 3 normal trap cards from your deck, and your opponent randomly chooses one to set to your side of the field. And that is that for the Lair of Darkness monsters. Next up, we have 2 copies of Lair of Darkness itself. Lair of Darkness turns all monsters on the field into dark monsters. And then it says once per turn, you contribute one of your opponent's monsters for one of your card effects. So basically, all of your card effects become kaijus, but with additional effects. Yes. Or all of your cards that say, or that make you tribute, become kaijus with additional effects. Already active. Yes. And that's that for the spells. Next up, we have 2 Deck Devi. If you don't know what Deck Devi does, tribute a dark monster with 2,000 or more attack. Check your opponent's hand for the next 3 turns. You also check their field. Or you check their current field, you check their current hand, and then you check their draws for the next 3 turns. And if it's a monster with 1,500 or less attack, you destroy it. Which is great. But if you're playing against dinos, you're giving them advantage, which is not fun. Next up, we have 2 copies of Grinning Grave Virus. This card, you tribute a dark monster with 3,000 or less attack. That needs to move up. I am working with this. This is a different setup, kind of. I mean, it's my phone, but different position. I'm not holding it, so bear with me. So, Grinning Grave, tribute a dark monster with 3,000 or less attack. And then, for every increment of 500 attack points in that monster's attack power, you can, or your opponent destroys 1 card out of their deck, and no floating effects activate. You don't get a floating effect, or your opponent doesn't get floating effects for what is destroyed by this card. And then if you tributed a monster with 2,500 or more attack, I believe, Excuse me. I need to pause. Just read it. It's if you treated a monster with 2,000 or more attack. You check your opponent's hand for the next 3 turns, and if it's just a monster in general, destroyed. And I think it says anything destroyed by this effect does not float. So I'm pretty sure that even means like the hand. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just the effect where it destroys stuff in the deck. But again, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played Yu-Gi-Oh, but I still love the card game. I don't actually play it that often. But when I do play, I play for fun. I don't play to win. So next up for our 1-ups, we have 1 Full Force, 1 Lost Wind, 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Erad, you tribute a dark monster with 2,500 or more attack, and you call a monster spell or trap. You check your opponent's hand, field, and their next 3 draws, and anything of the declared card type is drawn, and anything of the declared card type is destroyed. And then, if they draw it, you destroy it right away. So, yeah, if you know your opponent's playing like Monster Mash, you flip it, you call monster, you wipe their hand off. Gone. They're done. Lost Wind, basically target a special summon monster, negate its effects, have its attack, and then when your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can set this card from your graveyard. And then Full Force Virus, tribute a dark monster with 2,000 or more defense. Virus Claws, which is check their field and hand and their next 3 draws to see if they have monsters with 1,500 or less defense and destroy them. So, yay. And that's that for the main deck. Let's get right into this extra deck. Starting us off in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Divine Dragon Knight, Felgran. Not Dragon. Okay, I need to pay attention to where I'm putting them. I need to put them here. Here. He has a quick effect that during either player's turn, detach a material, target a monster on the field, negate its effects, and then it becomes unaffected by everything until the end of the turn, which is awesome. So, in a niche situation, it's good against barrier statues. In a frequent situation, it can stop a floodgate for a turn, unless your opponent negates his summon or his effect. I need to center these, because I am not good at this. So, yeah, that's what he does. Next up, we have Heretic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. His effect is, once per turn, detach a material, tribute dragon monsters from your hand and or your side of the field, target the same number of cards your opponent controls, destroy them. Yes, he is basically a infinite number of destruction depending on how many dragons you tribute for his effect. Next up, we have Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon. He has the effect that you can, once per turn, detach one material from it, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and then its effects are negated. It comes to your side, its attack becomes 3k, and its name becomes Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon, and then you can only attack with Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon for the turn. Which means, yes, you can attack with a monster that you just stole because its name becomes Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon. Fun. But anyways, next up we have Galaxy Ice Full Armor Photon Dragon. He has the effect that once per turn, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls, I believe, destroy it. So, it's not a quick effect, which kind of sucks. But you can rank it up on top of another Galaxy Ice monster, which is really good. He has another effect revolving around equip spells, but don't even worry about that effect. You're never going to use it. There's no equip spells in this deck. So yeah. Next up, we have one copy of Neo Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon. He has an effect to once per turn detach and destroy one card on the field. He cannot be used as XYZ material, and I don't really... and then he has a floating effect that whenever he dies, you can summon back another Galaxy Eyes monster from your graveyard. Or something like that. I don't know. But, yeah. No, all you really care for is the destruction effect. Next up, we have number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or effect, so that means like a spell card or the effect of a spell card, you can negate it and then attach it as a material. A lot of times when I'm playing against my friends, no offense to my friends who watch this, they think that when it says or effect, they mean like if they think it means like if a monster has an activated effect, you can negate and suck it. No. When it says spell card or effect, it only refers to spells. Yes. That is how it works. This thing only negates spells. So, if you're new, don't let it confuse you. It's basically when your opponent does anything with a spell card, negate and suck it. Then he has another really cool effect to once per turn, when your opponent declares an attack on a monster that isn't him, detach a material to redirect the attack to him, which is really good. And then for the last XZ monster in this deck, number 46, Dragluon. He has 3 effects. He can red MD a card out of your hand, so special summon a dragon monster from your hand by detaching material, or he can target a dragon monster your opponent controls and mind control it, which means take control of it, whatever. And then he has another effect that you can detach, and then your opponent's dragon effects cannot be activated this turn. Sadly, he is not a quick effect. If he was a quick effect, this would be a really good card to stop Dragon Link decks, which are, I'm pretty sure, still rampant. Especially now that I've seen Borreload Savage Dragon is $75, and I'm not about that life. But yeah. Moving on to the Synchros, we have 2 copies of Azure Eye Silver Dragon. Everybody knows what Azure does. If you don't know what Azure do, his summoning requirements are a dragon normal, or a tuner plus a normal type dragon, plus 1 or more dragon type normal monsters. Whenever he's summoned, just like whenever he's special summoned, not synchro summoned, special summoned, all dragons you currently control become, or cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects from both players, so even your own. And then he has the effect that during your standby phase, and then that protection effect goes away during the end phase of the next turn after he was summoned. Anyways, during the standby phase, he can target a normal type dragon, or a dragon normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your side of the field. There we go. Got it out. The next up, we have 2 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. What Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon does is he can, once per turn during either player's turn, negate a grave effect. And he's also a floodgate against pendulums, because he says both players cannot summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. So the pendulum, watch out. If I make this card before you get your turn, your pendulum summon gonna be weak, son. All jokes aside, he also has another really good quick effect to tag himself out into another light dragon synchro monster from your extra deck. Any light dragon synchro monster. You're not limited to just Azure Eyes. If you so wish, you could summon fucking Quasar, unless Quasar says it has to be synchro summoned. I don't know. You can summon Quasar. I believe Quasar is a light monster. Correct me in the comment section below. But yeah. And then last for the synchros is Vermilion Dragon Mech. Once per turn, banish a tuner out of your graveyard to target and destroy a card your opponent controls. Really good. And then we have Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. Oh, did I get in the way of my camera there? No, I didn't. Okay. I have to wear a hat because of my hair, so I was worried that my hat got in the way. If you guys have seen me, which I know most of you have not, but my friends in real life know, I have long hair. So it's really hard to record these with long hair. Hey, phone. Focus. There we go. Okay. Anyways, into the Twin Burst effect. It can attack monsters twice per turn. Cannot be killed by battle. Anything it doesn't destroy by battle is banished at the end of the battle phase. It's also able to be made through contact fusion. And I think that's all it does. I'm going to read this I'm going to cut and read this and I'll come back once I have the effect read. So, yeah, that's all he does, but instead of end of the battle phase if it didn't destroy something, it's end of damage step that if it doesn't destroy the monster, you banish it. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so as you guys know, my setup has changed a little bit. Not really, but I'm still out in the middle of the living room recording these. I'm still using my phone. And, the videos are going to roughly stay the same length, or they are currently the same length as they originally were. But, hopefully, if my phone doesn't have a cap for what it can record, I can start doing test hands, because I can record, extremely long videos, because my mom, being the nice and lovable mother that she is, she gave me a 32 gig micro SD or something like that for my phone. So I might be able to start doing those combo videos that everybody wants to see, because I get a lot of comments on my videos saying, combo video? You should do a combo video to help everybody learn the deck. I know I need to do that. I really do know what you guys feel like when it comes to not knowing the combos for a deck, because there have been a couple of decks I've looked up online, watched deck profile over, put it into EDO Pro or YGO Pro, Dawn of a New Era online dueling thing, etc., etc., and I've gone against AI. Well, you can't really go against AI on YGO Pro Percy, but on EDO they have AI, and I take it against the AI, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So, I know what it's like to not have a combo video for a deck that you think is interesting, that you want to play. I know. I need to get those combo videos out to you guys. I need to record them. I know. And I will definitely do that if my phone allows me to record more than 30 minutes worth of stuff. I know 30 minutes might be enough for a combo video, but it's I go in depth. A lot of you guys know I ramble. I ramble a lot. As you can tell, I'm rambling right now. But also, we are really close to 100 subs, but I don't want to hit 100 subs too fast. I really don't. I want to hit 100 subs by the end of this year. Not by the end of this month or by the end of the summer. No. I'm going to keep it realistic. End of the year, 100 subs. We can do it. I hopefully will continue to bring you guys content through to the end of the year. I know I did a big live stream of Call of Duty Zombies not too long ago, which is something that a lot of people don't really get interested in, but it's something I love to do. But I really don't want to make a separate channel for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that's a lot of work, and right now I don't have the capacity to be doing that. So I want everything to be on this one channel, because this isn't going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Only channel. There will be a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Content on this channel. Don't think that I'm going to take away all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff with one live stream. Because the live stream was just like a once in a blue moon kind of thing. I don't know how often I'll stream. But there will be Yu-Gi-Oh! Content for this channel all the time. So don't expect it to go away. I just occasionally want to do like other things, like zombies, or just anything I can do on the PlayStation. Eventually, I want to get something for my laptop, like some streaming for my laptop, better equipment for my laptop, so I can actually do something with it, or just wait until I get a PC to do live streams, and then I can live stream like EDO Pro games, or I can do combo videos on EDO Pro. And yeah, you guys get it. I know I'm rambling again. But another thing I want to say is thank you all for all the support. I never thought I would make it as far as I am. 81 subscribers as of recording this video. This has been a really fun journey with you guys. I love it. I love every second of this. I love being able to sit down with my cards right in front of me and just talk about them, talk about my stupid deck ideas, which, by the way, there is technically a side deck to this deck, but it's not really a side deck, it's more of its own deck. I'll get into that in as my next deck profile, if you guys really want to see that. Because like I said, if you didn't count the amount of Lair of Darkness cards there are, it's 15. So there are technically 2 variations of Blue Eyes in this one deck, that are all just side deck oriented. But I'm going to stop rambling. If you guys have enjoyed this video and you made it this far, thank you so much. Please do hit that like button. Comment down below any card suggestions or your thoughts on the deck or anything. You can even be like, hey, you're stupid. Stop these deck profiles because they're trash. And I'd still like and heart your comment, and I would reply, be like, I know I'm not a good player. I'm doing this for fun. Anyways, like I said, like, comment, and if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing. Like I said, I'm on the road to 100 subs. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I will see you all next week with another deck profile. Peace.